water change day on the 300 gallon. Just wanted to go through how I do water changes safely now. For those of you that have followed me for any amount of time, you remember that I've lost thousands of dollars of fish all at one time due to an error in my water change process by not being careful enough and knowing what my local municipal water company put in the water for treatment days. So I've got around that by doing a few different things, and it's gone very well since. So thought today would be a good day to kind of just go over that really quickly. I use a very simple pump. I got it from Home Depot. Hook that onto the end of a python, and that goes right to the sink. I could drain all 300 gallons out of here if I wanted to in about 35 minutes. Obviously we're not going to do that, but that's kind of the power of that small pump, which really is just about the size of a fist. As we're draining here, I just wanted to talk briefly about what I used to do and how that led to me losing nearly all of my fish in one night. I did what a lot of people still currently do, and a lot of people do successfully. That is, I drain the tank like normal, and I put my siphon right on the sink and put water from the sink directly into the tank, and I just treat the water as it goes into the tank. So every 20 gallons or so that would go in, I would add in the proper amount of safe, and never had a problem really ever until I did have a problem. Not to make this video all about what happened when I lost all those fish, but just a brief background. I live in the Midwest in the US. It gets very cold. Always a lot of ice on the roads during the winter, and it's not uncommon for the roads to be treated with rock salt to melt that ice away. Well, that salt does go somewhere. It makes its way into the sewers, the water. So to be safe, water companies a lot of time will add extra chlorine, extra chemicals to that water just to treat it, make sure it's safe for drinking and residential uses. Anyway, normally they let people know when they do that ahead of time by a day or two. This time they did not. So I basically pumped in toxic water that was heavy in chlorine right into the tank, and within 2-3 minutes the fish were dying. It was so much chlorine that I could actively smell it 10 foot away from my tank. To combat that, to sound fancy and sound very professional, I set up a tote system where I put all my water in ahead of time. It's treated ahead of time. I'll show you everything that I treat with. And then once it's ready to go, it sits and gases off for at least 24 hours. Then I can pump it into the tanks. But it's not that fancy. It's trash cans. Just fill up those trash cans, totes, we'll call them totes. I let them sit for a few days. I add in my treatment. I do add in a buffer to raise my pH just a bit. And then I've also got, your common powder treatments because Seachem Prime is way too expensive to use for as many gallons of water as I have. In the process now of refilling, I've got a same pump out here for the totes, and it's going back into the tank. 50% on the 300 today. I don't always do that much, but that's about the max that I will do. And in doing it this route, I'm 100% confident that the water that's going back into the tank now has the parameters right where I want them. It's now the morning after. Everything's looking good. Water parameters are where they should be. So in doing your water changes, not that you have to quarantine your water ahead of time, like I do in my trash cans, but if you don't do that, I really do encourage you to check your tap water every time before you do a water change, just so you know exactly what's going back into your tank. Thanks for watching.